the sun is shining 24/7. Cause when we're together, it feels like we're in heaven. If it will get dark, you'll be my million stars. I know I can lean on you. Ooh, you catch me like a leaf falling from a tree. If I'll be a shooting star, you make a wish. No, I don't fake this kind of feeling, never felt so real. My heart is on the table cause you're my everything. I do, I wanna marry you. Cause when you're around, I know it's true. The way you make me feel is so good, baby. So good, so good. Every single day we spend apart, I wanna be with you.
Welcome back to Love and Marriage with Tommy and Deborah. I'm Tommy.
And I'm Deborah.
And today we will be talking about once you get married and start having children. Up to this point, we've talked about how we met. We talked about our engagement. We talked about our wedding. We talked about the early years with all the crazy stuff that was happening. And now we're going to talk about having kids and how that kind of changes things. But before I start with that, though, I'd like to tell you that this is a deep freeze production with Vic Frost. Mm-hmm. And if you like what you see, like, share, and subscribe. All right. But one thing I would like to say is that when we first got married, actually before we got married, I'll tell you this, before Deborah and I got married, my thought was, and I told her this after we got married, this is what I really thought. And I was probably 22, 23. I said, when I get married, me and my wife are never going to argue.
Oh, you said before we got married?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. That was such a gullible thing to think.
Why did you think that?
Because
it's what you wanted?
Yeah, I felt like we could be married. I just didn't have any idea. Really, the reason I thought it is because I didn't know no better. But I just didn't. I said we don't have to argue. I just thought that it could be possible. You didn't think it? I mean,
shaking my head. That's all I got to say.
Looking back now, I know that's probably impossible. Mm-hmm. But I thought we loved each other so much. We get along, we know each other. We thought we knew each other. We didn't really. We were learning each other. And I just didn't think we would ever argue, like not no real arguments, you know? I was tripping.
Hard.
Yeah. I was tripping. But anyway, like I said before in the last episode, when we got married.
Before you go on with that, if you think about it, I heard, I don't know where I heard it from, but they were saying that somebody was telling them that they never argue. It's like a husband and a wife. Huh?
A lie?
Yeah.
Who said that?
I mean, I don't remember. It might have been on TV. I don't know where I saw that. But I was like,
that's a lie.
Just be for real.
Yeah, that ain't true.
You know, not unless they just want to call it disagreements. That's still,
they don't call it arguments, but
disagreements. Yeah.
Or blow-ups.
Same difference.
We had blow-ups.
Mm-hmm.
I never heard nobody say that, but I really thought that. I mean, I was honestly, like I tell you, like remember when I first met you, I told you I knew I was going to marry you. I was 15 years old. I knew it. And then when it was time to get married, and my buddies were trying to talk me out of moving down here, not getting married.
I think they was trying to talk you out of getting married.
No, they wasn't. I just talked to them about that recently. They said they just didn't want me to move. They wanted you to come up there. But anyway, even then, like when it was time to get married, like a lot of people asked me, "Were you nervous?" I was like, "No, already. I was ready. I knew it was you." You know, even the move was cool with me because it was something different. I'm always a type person that like, changing up stuff anyway. So it was cool. But as far as the whole not arguing thing, I really said that to myself and believed that. But I just didn't have no idea. I was just young and gullible, Mm-hmm. So, but anyway, after we got married, we talked about not having kids for a couple of years so we could just have some fun. And
get to know each other.
Yeah, get to know each other.
Yeah.
And look, we talking about having fun. We ain't had no money to really do nothing.
But you don't need a lot of money to do things.
No, you don't. But I mean, it would have been nice in them first 3 years if we had money that we could have traveled a little bit more.
Yeah.
Like just went places because we didn't really start going places till after we had the kids.
Right.
Like not any far places. Right. But so we talked about having kids. And this is the crazy thing. Did we ever say how many we wanted?
You said 2. I said 3.
Yeah. But no, tell them what you said originally. You didn't say 3.
Oh, yeah. I have wanted a lot of kids because
What's a lot? Tell them.
because
She was on
I'm the
something.
youngest out
I don't know where
of
you
8,
were.
and he's the oldest out of 5.
6.
6.
Yeah.
Out of 6.
Yeah.
And so when I grew up, it was like everybody was leaving. You know, everybody was leaving. It just left me there. So I wanted to have a big family so they could be there with each other.
Well, who else? I'm gonna have to be there too. What are you talking about?
Say again?
Be there with each other. We would have to be. Who's feeding these jokers?
No, what I'm saying is that so they have
Each other.
Yeah.
But see, you said I'm the oldest of 6 that grew up in my house, but I had another brother and sister that didn't grow up in the house that were older than me. So as far as like being in a house, like you said,
See, but when you graduate, you were gone. It just left them.
that's what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like my brother and sister that were older than me, they weren't in the house anyway. So I'm 3 years older than the next youngest one, or next. What do you have? My sister that's next to me is 3 years younger than me. And the one after her is 3 years younger than
Here
her.
we go with numbers again.
And then it's
Okay,
11 years
We got
and
it.
12 years.
We got it. We got it.
But my experience is totally different from yours because you were left in the house alone with just your parents and you and all the other siblings gone.
Mm-hmm.
I was the exact opposite.
Right.
I was gone and I missed all the stuff that was happening with the other 5 that was home. But as we got married and we started talking about having kids, Deborah said initially she said you wanted to have like 6. I was like, with who?
Mm-hmm.
Who's doing 6? No, I wasn't. No, that was what it was 6. And let me tell you, there was 6 of us in the house, and I tell you something. I tell you why I didn't want to have 6, because I knew what 6. When you said 6, that was like a traumatic thing for me because I knew what 6 kids meant. It meant if I get some cookies, I have to hide them so nobody else will ask for them.
Oh,
I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you something I do to this day. I'll go in the kitchen, just me and you at the house. Instead of bringing the whole thing of cookies in the den while we're watching TV to eat them, I'll take out 2 or 3 and leave the rest because I feel like if I bring them in there, somebody's gonna ask for them. You know, that's the way I feel.
Sad.
It's not sad.
It is sad.
How's that sad? But you can't have anything to yourself when there's 6 kids.
But there's no longer 6 kids. There's only 2 people in the house now.
I know, but growing up with that mentality, like, you don't do anything like when you were young now?
No.
No? I'm quite sure if we retrace it, we can find something that you do now that you used to do when you were small. Anyway, so she said she wanted to have 6. I was like, we ain't doing 6. And I said I wanted 2. I wanted a boy and a girl.
Right.
And I actually wanted it in that order, a boy and a girl. And we ended up having a boy and a girl.
Yeah.
And tell them what happened.
What, at the baby shower?
What?
The first baby shower?
No, what happened?
Oh, you don't remember? You weren't there?
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about.
Was so excited.
Whose baby shower? The Tony?
The first one.
Tony?
Yeah.
What happened?
I'm so excited about the baby shower. People coming from from up north everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
And that morning, my water broke. You don't remember?
Okay, I do remember that.
Yeah.
And you missed the baby shower.
And I missed the baby shower, yeah.
Did I go with you to the hospital then? Right then? I don't remember, Deborah. I had to take you to the hospital, didn't I? Did you? You had told them.
You know what? This is what happened when they start getting older.
You had
that
Tony,
memory starts slipping.
You had Tony super. It took a long time. I know that.
Right.
So I took you to the hospital. We both missed the baby shower. Did they even have it? I guess
I think they did.
Okay.
I think they did. Because the people were coming.
Mm-hmm.
And back then we didn't have, like we said, cell phones to call people that was on the road or flying in or whatever.
Yeah. Just get there and you're not there.
Yeah.
And when you, I do remember the pregnancy and actually seeing a baby being born was like a miracle for me. It was a miraculous thing. So we had Tony, our oldest. His real name is James, and then probably like after you have a baby, they tell you wait 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Probably right at the 6 week mark, we put Nikki in the oven.
Do what you gotta do, man.
Because Tony's birthday is in August.
Here we go with months and dates.
And
here.
Nikki's birthday is in September. So you got pregnant like not too long after, you know. And so then we got, and this is the other thing. We had, at the time, I had a 78 Volkswagen Scirocco, and you had, remember the seat in there?
Your car?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There was a spring busted out through the leather seat, and whenever you sit in there, you tear your clothes. And she had a...
With the is it Run DMC? Hard Times.
Yeah.
It was hard times.
Yeah, it was. That car was rusty, too. I drove that car from California. But anyway, and Deborah had a Honda Prelude. So now imagine this. Deborah has a Honda Prelude, and I have a Volkswagen Scirocco, which is 2-door. And both of them are 2 doors. And it's just me and her. Then we have Tony. So we have to have a car seat in the little sports car. Then we have Nikki. We have to have 2 car seats.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to start thinking about getting a bigger vehicle. And we ended up getting a minivan, I think, first. We never had an SUV until I had that blue truck. Right? But anyway, so we have 2 kids now. And now I'm thinking, okay, we're good. And Deborah's like probably 2.5 years after Nikki's, Nikki's about 2.5 years old. So like you start talking about having another baby. And then at this time, Tony and Nikki are both like 2 and 3 and 4. And you kept saying, well, I want to have another baby. And I'm like, come on now, word. And so one day I do remember this. You had kept mentioning it to me, and I was kind of like,
Mentioning or begging?
Begging.
Okay.
Yeah, begging. Let's have another one. I'm like, I like how you make them, but I don't. So finally one day, I think we were home. You and Tony and Nikki both came to me, all you and the kids, and Tony and Nikki was like, I want a little brother or a little sister. And then,
I don't remember this.
I
y'all.
do,
Y'all,
because that's
I
what.
do not
yes,
remember this.
You told the kids to ask your daddy, and they came in and they're like, we want a little brother, and I was like, all right, let me get back to work. Let's go. And then we ended up having Will. Will is 4 years younger than Nikki and 5 years younger than Tony.
Okay.
And that completed our family. So now we have 3 kids. Oh yeah, this is when the van came in. We had two-seater cars. Well, not 2-seaters, but like sports cars. And now we have a 3rd baby seat. So we had to go get something. We went out and got a Dodge. That's that burgundy one. A Dodge Caravan. We had a Dodge Caravan. So now we have 3 kids now. But actually, let me back up a little bit. After we had Tony, you remember what happened? When we started looking for daycares and all that.
No, you remind me.
We didn't want to put them nowhere.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We started looking around at daycares, and this is we only had Tony at this time. He's the little boy, and he's probably a couple months old, 2-3 months old, and we didn't want to take him anywhere to daycare. So Deborah started keeping him at home, and then tell him about the whole how eventually. Deborah ended up owning a daycare for 20 years. So tell them how that started. Like, how did you end up? Because I don't know. I just was going to work, and I know
you don't know.
I don't know how you started the process, like in-home daycare and all. I don't know all the steps you took. You was doing stuff when I wasn't around.
Yeah, but what it was I didn't want anyone taking care of my babies.
It was only a baby. It's only Tony at the time.
Yeah, it was only Tony. So I was keeping him at home, and then other people started asking me, where are you taking your child? I was like, no, I'm at home with them. And then it's like, well, can you watch my child? And it started out as an in-home daycare. Started out with 5? Like 5 kids, and then it started to grow. And so I got licensed for it. Then after that, still started picking up and became a large daycare home.
When did we have to make the expansion? Because eventually we moved out of that house. We were in that house from 89 and 98. And then we moved in 98 out into Linden.
He really does know.
Yeah, I mean, how does that make you feel? I mean, does it
don't
complete
bother-
it? Does it complete everything in
Yeah,
your mind?
no, let me tell you.
What is it about
Numbers?
saying the numbers that's
Because I'll tell you this. No, I'll tell you why. I have to see things in sequential order. Like if I'm watching a series. And
Yeah, I know that. Mm-hmm.
No, but I'm saying if it's in the 4th season, I have to go back to season 1 and watch all the way up. And I just have to do things in order, and that's how I keep it in my mind. You know, I need to have things in order.
Right.
That's OCD.
I wouldn't say it's OCD.
And I remember the numbers because I know how long we were at each house. And we went there in 98 and stayed there till 2004.
Okay.
And now
I believe you.
Okay.
But anyway, we the business just started keep growing to where we had to hire people, and then we moved out and renovated the whole place
we added 700
into a center. But going back some, I remember we were getting behind with our mortgage at one point. We had refinanced, of course, and I remember the people said they was going to send somebody out to the house. This is once we moved out. And they said we had to live in the house. Now, I remind you, we had already had the tub taken out.
Yeah.
We had the little toilets put in. And, I mean, the whole house was a daycare center.
Yeah,
you know?
it was for kids.
And Tom's like, oh, my goodness, what are we going to do? I said, you know what? We just got to stage it.
Yeah, look.
We got to stage it.
Hey, look. You want to tell me what we did?
You could go ahead.
Okay, listen. Okay, imagine this. You remember how in the last episode I told you about the heater? Well, that heater is like right next to a bathroom, and that bathroom was a full bath. There's a sink, toilet, and the tub is against the wall, straight in. Well, when we started the daycare center, we had to take that tub out and put another little small toilet like for kids, a short toilet. So it was 2 toilets in there. So when Deborah told me that the people had to come out to look at, we had to live in the house. We had already moved. We moved out. We put a curtain up like a shower, but you can't open it because on the other side of that curtain is a little baby toilet.
Right. Because they wouldn't know that it wasn't a
full bath.
tub.
Yeah. So when they looked in the bathroom, oh, nice. But then in the back, we had to make one of the rooms where the children had a table that they played on. We had to take the table out, take the pictures off the wall. We had little kitty pictures all up, put some pictures up. We got I don't know what we used. How did we make that bed?
Some of the mats. We used
oh yeah,
table with some of the mats on it. Brought comforters from home and made it up just like a bed. That made it look like.
Oh God, you know how when anybody's got kids in daycare, when you go to daycare and you pick your kids up and they sleep, they sleeping on the mats. We piled those mats up high, side by side, and then put covers over them and put a pillow. How do we do the nightstands?
I don't remember. Maybe we had some kind of
milk crates or something.
I don't remember. I really don't.
And we put a lamp in there. We made it look just like a bedroom, but don't sit on that bed because it's gonna fall apart. And the lady comes in and she looks like, oh wow. And we had to put a door. Did we have to put a door? Like remember that door to the back?
I don't remember putting no door anywhere.
Yeah, I thought we had to put up a fake door. Yeah, it was something happened with a door that we had to do. But anyway, yeah, we passed. Yeah, we passed. because we
was like, we're not moving furniture back in here, and you know.
Yeah. And why
it was crazy.
Why did they say we had to live there? Because we were getting ready to go into the process of becoming a center.
No, we were either a center in the process of becoming a center.
In the process of becoming a center.
But we had took everything out.
No, but I'm saying the reason they said we had to live there is before we could become a center, they had to make sure that we lived there or something. I don't know.
No, why. They said we could not. They said we had to live in the space. We could not. It could not be a center. That's what the mortgage people said. That you had to live there.
That was the mortgage people.
Yeah,
okay.
We had to live there.
I thought it was the city.
And so.
Yeah, we had done some creative, slick stuff. Trying to survive. And at that time, that was starting to be like one of our main incomes because I had a job, but I mean, it wasn't paying a lot.
Right.
So, but anyway, I guess what can you learn from this episode? Don't be slick like us.
But when we moved out and everything, and finally got it as a center. But one thing about what was it? They told us we couldn't be a center in the neighborhood.
You had to be rezoned.
And that's one thing. Young women or young men, you know, when you want something, go for it. You know, don't take no.
Yeah.
Because they told me I could stay as a large daycare home, but I could not become a center.
Daycare center.
And I knew.
Well, we had those group homes that were in the neighborhood. That's what it was. It was a group home right behind us. I was like, well,
down the road, right?
Yeah, I was like, how can they have this and we can't?
Right. And somehow I found out about a special use permit, but you had to go before the city council, you had to go before different boards and tell them what you're going to do, and we had to have letters sent out to the neighbors. It was a lot, but we did it. You know, it's you know, how bad do you want it?
Yeah, and at the end we ended up having at our peak, I think 40 kids.
No, it's 35 on each shift.
Yeah, but
that's what we was licensed for.
Well, we had 39. I remember at one point we had 39.
I remember. Lord, I don't know if I should say this or not, but it's the past anyway. Well, like you said, we had so many kids. I remember sanitation came in one time, and she says, Miss Jones, look like there's a lot of kids out there on the playground. I was like, oh, really? I said, yeah, come on, let's go on through here, you know. But she never said anything, and thank God, you know, they were well taken care of.
They were. Because we had good workers. We used to take them to the movies. We used to do all kind of stuff.
Yeah, those were the good days.
Yeah, but that's what having kids for us became. It became we didn't want to take our kids anywhere, so Deborah started a daycare, and she had the daycare center for 20 years.
Yep.
And we see some of those kids now. They're 20,
grown and got kids.
Yeah, 20-something years old. So. But anyway, maybe next time we'll get into talking about some things more about our kids and everything. I think we took a lot of time talking about the daycare today. But
remember to like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah.
Share with your friends. Hopefully they'll like what they see, or you know. But one thing I did want to mention: no, we don't have a degree in marriage.
I do.
Oh my goodness!
Being married to you all this time, I have a master's.
We have experience.
That's right. I have a master's. So.
All right.
But anyway, yeah. Hopefully, at some point, like I said, I know I talked about this before. We could get into some questions and answers. If y'all do like, share, and subscribe, please send in your questions. If you have questions of things that you would like to hear, our experience on or advice, we would love to share it with you, especially if it's funny. And you know, I think that's it for this episode. This has been Love and Marriage with Tommy and Deborah. Do you have anything else to say?
Nothing to say, but peace.
Not peace yet.
Oh, you have something else to say?
Yes.
Okay.
This is a Deep Freeze production with Big Frost. Like, share, and subscribe. Peace.
With you, the sun is shining 24/7. 'Cause when we're together, it feels like we're in heaven. If it will get dark, you'll be my million stars. I know I can lean on you.